Just waiting for our mics to go live, baby.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the ESR RWB Tugas DMT Trip of a Lifetime Meisterschafft Quick Hands Super Finger Squizgar Squiggle Master Course Round 7 at the Nurburing.
It's a little bit much.
I am very attractive, and with me, as always, is the man who makes Tom Petty look like Gene Siskel, Michael Magus.
I don't know how to take that.
I don't even remember what I said, so that makes two of us.
There you go. All right. Well, we're here for qualifying for the April Fool's round of the championship, which is totally legitimate in all ways. Championship leader coming in today is Tobias Thierol with 578 points. He's followed by RWB Rigel on 428. Then it is 400 for Bertrand Barrier. I am trying to think here if it's even possible for anyone to catch up to ya boy Tobias. And it might not be. no, it is. It is. Because there's first place is 120 points. So there's still 240 points to play for. So yeah, technically RWB Rigel, Bertrand Barrier, and Antonio Costa and Josiah Jerome could catch him. I will say it is incredibly unlikely, but weirder stuff has happened as Tobias moves on to pole position there. And rounding off the top 5, like I said, is Costa and Josiah Jerome. Rounding off the top 10, it's Martin Edmonds, Dirk Greshel, Nigel Wood, Andrew D, and Max Simmons. And in the team's championship, it is Audi leading with 2,705 points to BMW's 2,240. Mercedes at 1,898 and 311 for DTM, as it says. I think the deal with the DTM placeholder is that is the why is my brain not working right now?
Because you're all jacked up on squirrel meat.
The older Mercedes models. The deal is that if you go back to 2016 for the Mercedes cars, the car model changes. So I think it doesn't show up as Mercedes. So that's the older car. I wonder if there is someone who has literally 311 points. I think it's Max. Yeah, I think we figured this out before. Max Simmons has exactly the points of that DTM entry, so I think he's using the old ass car, and that is why that is there.
A G.
Yo.
OG triple OG.
Currently in the qualifying.
You think maybe Mauricio Delgado could introduce us to Carlos Delgado?
Carlos Delgado's not playing, so I don't.
Wow. Probably right.
Carlos is, I want to say Puerto Rican.
I want to say he's Dominican.
I am right. You are wrong. Boom. There you go.
Fair enough.
Born in Aguadilla, Puebla, Puerto Rico. Probably butchering that pronouncement.
You got all of that wrong. Magnificent.
No, the Puerto Rico I know I got right.
Sir, it's pronounced Dominican.
It's not,
most of those letters are silent.
It's not. He is Puerto Rican. I don't know why I knew he was Puerto Rican, to be honest, but I did.
I mean, you live in the Sky Dome, so I mean, I would expect you to know.
Really don't, and I miss calling it the Sky Dome. Now the Rogers.
It will never be the Rogers Center.
Vomit-inducing worthy.
You can paint anything you want on the front. It's still the Sky Dome.
All right, we got Tobias Thierol leading the way from Bertrand Barrier, RWB Rigel, so three of the guys largely competing for the championship out in front. Then it is Max Haas, Rene Ermer, Dirk Greshel, Max Simmons, Antonio Costa, Magic Kashchuk, and Henrik Andresen pick up Martin Edmonds, who's currently unlucky 13. And he's got 2 personal best sectors, so can he improve? Yes, he can. Moves into 11th place in the Playboy Bunny car.
What if Playboy had chosen a different animal?
Like what?
I don't know. Can we get some comments in chat? Who has the best animal they probably should have chosen? That would be pretty OP. RC says kangaroo. That would be indeed pretty good.
I expected her to say a spring box, to be honest.
Wow, racist.
She loves spring foxes. What do you think?
They are delicious.
Why do you think her name is literally Gingerbach?
Because she likes beer.
She really doesn't.
Not even a double buck? Kangaroo?
Kangaroo. Any other? Let's see. Any other responses? Nobody else responded. Might not have anyone else really in chat.
Probably not. I mean, Martin was there, but I think Martin's racing.
Indeed, yeah, he's out on track, putting lap times up. So I imagine not paying tremendously close attention to the inner workings of what's going on. Jake Wilson.
Oh, RC says she is a non-drinker because it interferes with her meth procurement. I might have made some of that up. Oh, we got Scott, Nick, and Chad. Scott, what the heck is up?
The two-stream thing is confusing as fuck.
Don't cross the streams.
I mean, you
don't
can
ever cross the streams.
You can either give your view to ESR or to RWB. You get the same dulcet tones of our voices.
I didn't know RWB. We were doing this simulcast. But
Simulcast.
I gotta bring up the thing on another screen here. Hold on.
Indeed.
What is their YouTube channel? Shall we plug?
Just search RWB Racing.
Wow. Okay, fine.
I believe the actual channel is called RWB International. RWB Racing.
International. See. All right.
I am trying to get Nate to get rid of the trying to get Nate to get rid of the little start menu at the bottom of our stream. That would be handy.
Very possible. All right, now I got both open. I can see both chats. We got Tugas Racing in the RWB chat. What up, Tugas?
I'm trying to remember who actually runs the Tugas chat operation. I want to say it's Ricardo Costa.
Whoa,
who is out there racing. So that'd be.
Oh,
so it's probably not him.
I'm doing it both. I'm doing it live, Scott. I'm doing it live. I'm live on both. I'm following you. Not only am I following you, but I'm approving your naughty language posts in chat, which isn't naughty because you censored it yourself and YouTube still freaked out. So fuck YouTube.
I love the great irony that you have moderation power and I don't.
Oh yeah, I am the king of chat. I can't do RWB's chat, but we have Wavy Knife in RWB chat.
There we go. Nate got rid of the start. Good. We good. Nigel Wood, personal best first sector, but it looks like he kind of blew it in the second sector. We'll see if he can improve though. Let's see here. Coming around the final turn. Trying to refresh my memory here. That's the Coca-Cola turn. Last turn. And then heading down to the Hoghocken first turn.
The hog what?
The Hoghocken.
That sounds like a pig had like a digestive issue.
I do wonder if I have an older. The one thing I really dislike about Nurburing, and it has nothing to do with the track, it's the fact that Nurburing is one of the few tracks in the world that has like really, really well-known turns. But they renamed them constantly because they basically sell it off to who's paying money for it to to have the right to it.
Mm.
So like the Schumacher S is consistent, but aside from that, everything has multiple names. So on the Racing Circuits info track map, it is the Hoghocken, it is the Coca-Cola curve. If these are not the current names, please feel free to provide them. That is what I'm working with what I got.
Wavy Knife says DTM best touring cars changed my mind.
I mean, the question with DTM has always been, are they touring cars, honestly? Or are they silhouette cars? Because, originally, if you go back in time to the 1990s and the 80s, when this series was cheaper, like a better term, they were definitely touring cars. But nowadays, like, these are not commercially available cars, which my understanding is touring cars are meant to be commercially available. These are more like the European equivalent of NASCAR. I've always said.
Are they not built in the spirit and chutzpah in memory of Alan Turing?
No, they're not.
Well, then I don't want to know about it.
So I would argue that if you're looking for the king of touring cars, it is WTC.
Scott Nick disagrees. He's going with silhouettes, which now makes me want to start singing Silhouettes on the Shade.
Yeah, and of course nowadays they're just GT3 cars, as Scott said. Which is a bit of a disappointment. Like, I love GT3 racing. I love GT3 racing. It's one of my favorite forms of motorsport. But when DTM went to just being GT3s, it was a little bit lame. Max Haas going into the wall. Dirk Greshel showing up well here in 4th place. The VW Bank car. Brito Spengler represent.
Very aggressive.
Well, WTCC, Scott, in the chat, is no longer a thing. So it can no longer be WTCC.
That is the World Trade Council of Carrot Top.
Is the World Touring Car Championship.
Oh, that sounds almost appropriate.
We just did a round of Nordschleife.
Just dissenting opinion. Wavy Knife says WTCC is mid. BTCC is where it's at.
BTCC is also a possibility. The only problem with BTCC is, of course, it's English centric.
The big time.
Which, to be clear, just means that you're not really getting away from the British tracks, and obviously you have a lot of British drivers as opposed to the world Cup issues. But yeah, no, BTCC is phenomenal.
The problem there is you're definitely going to have to run into Dan Tickett and that. Fuck that.
Well, he's not in BTCC. He's in Formula E right these days.
You just wait. You're going to get busted back down that ranks.
Problem. Dan Ticktum is a complete waste of talent and an absolute disaster for career.
You should be recycled immediately.
I mean, I wouldn't go that far. Then
I'm going that far.
We'd have to have him as part of the world going forward.
Just parts.
I'm not a fan.
Soylent Green should be made out of Dan Ticktum. I'm just saying.
Soylent Green is Dan Ticktum. Barrier, only 2/10 off pole position, so he's got a shot here. There are people within spitting distance of Mr. Tobias Thierolf. RWB Rigel also about 6/10 off, 7 for Irmer.
I'm still thinking about buying the domain.
You go all the way down to 6th place or 7th, and you're still within a second pole. That's impressive.
No, I'm not sure. Wavy Knife says Boyemi to BTCC?
Whammy. Sebastian Whammy.
That sounds Italian.
It does, but he's Swiss.
Same thing.
It's really not.
It's just Northern Italian.
Really not. Is there really even such a thing as like a Swiss name? Like every time I see Swiss names come up, it's always like Austrian, German, Italian names essentially.
Yeah, I think they're all
just kind of a meeting of those three countries.
Pretty much, yeah.
And some French.
It's a German name with Italian spelling, pronounced French. That's how that is. The Schweiz.
Oh, Scott Nick is saying WTCR died. Oh, I thought we had one more year of it. I'm a little disappointed. Yeah, old in 2022.
Well, bruh, I found out that the Wobbly Wobbly Bee released Keith Lee, and I just about
he's over in AEW.
I'm trying to catch up on all the stuff that I didn't know happened the last 2 years, and I actually resubscribed to Wrestle Talk just so I can get like a daily update on what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
I unsubscribed from them because they just kept doing the same jokes over and over, and B, they
It's a little
spoiled
repetitive.
so many cards, so many things that I was trying to watch the next day, and it's right there on my YouTube feed. Dicks. But I'm back, so they can't spoil it.
It's a little bit problematic. Sami Zayn getting pushed these days. That's stunning.
Apparently, they're the hot angle going into WrestleMania.
Yeah, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, and the Bloodline.
Apparently, it's up in the air whether the women's title match or the tag title match is going to be the main event for day one.
Should be. I think they're leaning towards the women's title match, but I would definitely go with the tag. There's just, and this is not a like women versus tag team wrestling or whatever. It's very simply that is a very, very well built storyline.
Yeah.
Phenomenal. It is one of those times where the WWE got handed a ball and they took it to the fucking end zone for a change.
Take it to the house.
And they really haven't done much with the women's title match. Or two phenomenally talented women, but you ain't done shit. Also, it's a weird angle where it's heel versus heel, which never really goes all that well.
So my cat just climbed up on my desk and sat on my mouse cord. So now I'm having trouble navigating my 3 monitors.
Huh?
I've got a choice. Do I grab him? Do I pitch him? Or do I just suffer? In chat, let me know what I should do. You predict the future.
You predict the future of how far this cat flies. And win.
Also, I got another picture of him in the sink, so I'm putting together a collage of, oh God, he just fell off the fucking desk. Your votes no longer matter.
The cat has removed your voting.
Yep. He's definitely going through another growth spurt. He has fallen off, misjumped, and crashed headlong into like 7 things in the last 2 days. Like living with a teenager. It's like being a teenager almost vicariously all over again. I don't have, CRC wants Kitty on camera. I don't have a webcam, nor would I be able to insert it into this particular venue at this time. But I will slap together the growth sync collage and make that available on Discord.
Jake Wilson, personal best for sector as he works his way through sector 2. So keep that momentum up here. He is currently in 8th place, about 8/10 off the pole position. Coming around towards the end of sector 2 here. If I am not terribly mistaken, the line should be right about there. There you go.
£1 per logo, Wilson Racing. Fantastic. You put it out there, get that money.
Get that money. Oh, no. Lost it through the Coca-Cola curve.
No.
Big good lap going.
I can hook you up with my boy, the Reverse Coyote. We can help you out with more logos.
Henrik Andreasen goes 6th quickest. Dirk Greshel falling through the order. Was 4th, now 7th. See, has everybody got a lap time up here? Yep.
I don't see one for Josiah Juro.
20 cars total. We got everyone from Tugas Racing to RWB costs. And we do not have a Josiah Jerome today. At least not yet. At least not yet. Maybe he will show up yet.
Why not?
He's got 3 minutes to show.
As Wavy Knife has most saliently pointed out, Wagwan.
Ricardo Costa, improving his time a little bit. Still 19th place. In the Jamie Green mobile. It's Audi, BMW, Audi for the top 5. This is the top Mercedes man, Henrik Andreasen. Mercedes has not been the car to be in for this series, to be honest. Now, whether that is the actual car's problem or just, a not as talented driving cast, I don't know. Possible. I know a lot of these guys, but I don't know all of them necessarily. And I can't help but note that the guys who have really impressed me over time are mostly in Audis and BMWs. So, there may be a correlation or causation.
Bring me the Mac.
Nobody's sporting the dark green Robert Wickens livery. You guys disgust me. That livery.
Listen, I don't want to hear your shenanigans because I ain't seen no Gulf oil.
Well, there is no Gulf oil in DTM at this point in time. There is in real life now because it's all.
I don't want to hear no excuses.
Well, there's no Porsche. Gulf oil goes hand in hand with Porsche, my friend.
That's not true. Or GT.
Not for a long, long time.
Listen, again with the excuse.
There's no Ford either. It's not even that wouldn't work. Oh, everybody is really losing it through the Coca-Cola curve. Is it because they're trying to deploy DRS? Maybe. I don't remember it being that bad. Anyways, Tobias Thierol will start on pole position ahead of Bertrand Barrier. Max Haas in third, followed by RWB Rigel, Rene Erm, Henrik Andresen, Dirk Greshel, Jake Wilson, Antonio Costa, Max Simmons. That's your top 10. Rounding off the field, it's Martin Edmonds, Magic Kashchuk, Raul Valori, Matt L, Andrew D. Andrew D is way down in the back there, as is Nigel Wood down on Pro 8. RWB Marco, Mauricio Delgado, Ricardo Costa, and RWB Koss. Your top.
We got Holly Vega in chat. Says, let's go, Rick.
That is Ricardo Costa.
I was going to ask if it was perhaps White Boy Rick or Ric Flair. Woo! Be the man. You got to race the man.
You're not wrong. I mean, not technically. The whole to be the man, you have to be the man doesn't really apply to any sport, honestly. Yeah, we got a reasonably tight field through like the top 10 down to about 11th place. So got good stuff going on. Head out here for the warm up here as everybody tries to figure out their starting and their positions. What is Jake Wilson? Jake, that's the wrong way.
The real question is, which Wilson brother is this? That's not. Is it like the middle one, the youngest one?
I don't know.
Wow.
Jake, where do you rate on the family tree there?
Like, are you younger than Luke? Older than Luke?
Which one is the older one? Luke's older than Owen.
Owen's the oldest.
Okay.
If I remember correctly. Wow.
I don't know why I always think of Owen as being younger. I don't know why.
He's got a certain whimsy to him. Luke is much more serious, but he was an Idiocracy, which is awesome.
Oh, he can be infinitely silly. There are countless comedic credits to Mr. Luke Wilson's career.
Indeed. All right, Owen Wilson. Where are we at here? Owen Wilson's 54.
Jesus.
Relatives Luke and Andrew. Luke being 51. And Andrew being 58. Oh my God.
Oh, Andrew's the oldest.
Yeah. He's the one that looks like Sabretooth.
It is forming up here, and we will be waiting for the green lights in about 30 seconds. Means this is an excellent time for me to switch bottles because I am empty on the first one.
I switch into straight rubbing alcohol. Andrew Wilson was Coach Beck in Rushmore. That's where I know him from.
And no, sir, I am not straight going to the rubbing alcohol.
Mixed rubbing alcohol.
I am going to grape juice. Red lights, and we are off here at the Nurburing. Leading the way, it's Tobias Thierolf, and in the yellow car, that is Bertrand Barrier, who's getting swallowed up by the pack. Not a good start by the Frenchman. Max Haas is up in his second place there in the BMW. He's looking for a move down the inside. Lots of confusion. One of the Mercedes is putting their nose in there.
Oh, baby.
Dirk Greshel also in the mix. But it is going to be Thirol from Haas, Henrik Andreasen, RWB Rigel up into 4th place ahead of Rene Hermer. And Bertrand Barrier has gone from 2nd on the grid to 6th place. Not a good start. RWB Costa.
Oh, boy!
Big gear
No!
for Barrier. He faces the wrong direction, and he is off the track and will be at the back of the pack. Rounding off the top 10, we got Max Simmons, Antonio Costa, Jake Wilson, Dirk Greshel. Dirk Greshel had a really bad start. He is going side by side with Magic Kashchuk, battling over 9th place. Kashchuk in 10th, followed by Martin Edmonds, Raul Valoria, Andrew D, RWB Marco, Nigel Wood, Matt Al, Mauricio Legato, RWB Costs, Ricardo Costa, Bertrand Barrier on board with Magic Kashchuk as he goes side by side yet again with the BMW Bank car of Dirk Greshel as they work their way through this twisty, tight track.
Say that slow.
Earl still leads from Haas and Andreasen. So Tugas has got 2 men on the podium right now. Kashchuk going side by side with Martin Edmonds. Martinho wants up into the top 10. And he's going to get it. He's up there. Nigel Wood, RWB Marco, battling over 14th place there. Is RWB Marco in the Adrian Tambe car. The car behind him is the Euronics car that is proudly been sponsored, been worked over by 3-time DTM champion Gary Pappett. As you can see his name right there.
Is Adrian Tambe related to Obaba Batunde?
He is not.
Fair enough. My favorite cast member of Black Dynamite.
Around the outside there to no avail. So we got Tobias Thierolf, Haas, and Andreasen still the top 3. Really much movement down after that, to be honest. Evans is taking 10th place. Nigel Wood is determined to get up into 14th place here against RWB Marco. On the outside, but unable to get the job done through the, I want to say that's the Ford curve. Like I said, these names don't stick in my head because, oh, pardon me, that was the Valvoline.
They're all named after something.
But he is going to go down the inside of the Dunlop hairpin and take the spot. Andrew D next on his list.
In the future, all things will be Sabine Schmidt.
Ooh. Wow, the queen of the ring. I always like when she would show up in WTCC and they would actually make a really big deal about her showing up for the Nordschleife race.
That's cool.
They'd always have a whole, Max Haas taking over, or pardon me, Henrik Andreasen overtaking Max Haas. Pardon me, had that back in the 2nd place. They always had like they always got like the more, I guess, funny drivers on the grid to put together like a little like promo package for her, where they'd be like, they'd originally like downplay it, and then when she showed up, they'd be like, ah, crap. It was pretty good.
She's
Tom Cornell was the best one. He's like, oh, she was here last year, and, you know, she's had enough. She doesn't need to come back. No. And then, like, hello, boys, I'm back. And he's like, oh, crap. Matt Al going down the inside of RWB Marco, or actually, I think defending him, honestly. Oh, that's Bertrand Barrier in the Deutsche Postcard. Making his way through the yellow banana there. Trying to make his way back up through the field after spinning on lap 1. We do have a pit stop here, I do believe, that has to be completed in the window. By the way, Byron, PFL tonight.
PFL tonight, 9 o'clock.
6 o'clock for you.
Grab a snack and a nap real quick.
I don't want to hear about your need for sleep. I haven't slept since yesterday.
I barely slept. I got like 3 hours of sleep last night. Woke up at 2:30 in the morning, and that was it. Like, that's all you get, baby.
I watched Bellator, and then I had to go meet up with a client at 4 in the morning.
Bell taters.
This is what happens when some of your clients work what are called Asian financial hours.
Yikes.
Yeah, you end up going to places really early in the morning.
I mean, just crash the economy in Asia, and then you don't have to worry about it.
Well, then I don't get paid.
Oh, right. Never mind.
it's a bit of a problem.
Never mind.
Dirk Greshel on board here, trailing Jake Wilson in the Pink Panther. And behind him, you see the Playboy car of Martin Evans. The Playboy car, of course, driven in real life by Nico Muller. Martin Evans here today.
What about Nico Happinen?
You mean Kapanen?
No. It's dude.
On the inside, Bertrand Barrier. That's an overshoot.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
But he still might get him on the inside. And Matt Al also, I think, or RWB Marco, pardon me, I think also realizes that this is really his play. Fighting with Bertrand Barrier as he storms through the field is normally a little bit hazardous to your health. Because he is, well, frankly, straight up, Bertrand is a guy who exists on a little bit of the edge at all times. And normally when he has a setback, it only seeks to increase the aggression and the sort of ragged edge that he races on. Is really Mauricio Delgado, who is getting really physical, getting that overtake done. And
get him, Mauricio. Get him.
Further back, we have Nigel Wood, who looks like he's front-ended something. Oh, God, that car looks painful.
Probably kangaroo.
He overtakes RWB Costs. Ricardo Costa has fallen down a lap, so something has happened with Ricardo. Looks like he's out of the race. I'm looking at the camera control, and he is listed as in the pit lane.
Interspersed.
Back on board with Dirk Greshel with Jake Wilson. This is the only Canadian to win the DTM championship. Bruno Spengler's car. Yeah, BMW Bank car. Team M-Tech.
The originator of the Spengler Cup.
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if his family actually was related to something. Because he's Canadian-Swiss, so.
Fair enough.
Unfortunately, as you will learn following, motorsports, our Canadian drivers are Canadian in kind of name only in a lot of ways.
Wow, you're saying that the people from Quebec,
a lot of them have substantial ties to Europe. Bruno Spengler grew up mostly in Europe, if I recall correctly, specifically. Nicholas Latifi and Lance Stroll have also had a very much European upbringing. You'd have RWB Costas out of the race, it looks like.
No! How am I gonna make math jokes without cosign?
Yep, he is out.
No!
Figured I'd take manual control there for a second and have a look. But yeah, he is. It looks like him and Ricardo Costa are out of this race here again in the cars. Nigel Wood bringing up the rear. This is Raul Valoria leading this train with Matt Al and Bertrand Barrier. Barrier is still on his climb back through the field. Deutsche Boost car. It's Timo Glock's car in real life. The famous Is That Glock and former F1 driver. And former kart driver, actually. I want to say he's the only guy who's ever done DTM, Champ Car, and Formula One. Pretty sure that's the case.
And NASCAR.
I don't think he's ever done NASCAR, although it wouldn't surprise me. Also, he had an interview with podcast Beyond the Grid recently I listened to, where actually we learned about his relatively humble upbringings as a scaffold builder before becoming an F1 driver, or well before getting his big break in F1. Go-karter before that.
He's the Harrison Ford of motorsport.
No.
What do you mean? Harrison Ford was a carpenter.
Yeah,
He's literally working carpentry jobs while also acting in Star Wars.
Yeah, true enough, I guess. I just feel like there's got to be someone more fitting there. Harrison Ford Gold in motorsports.
He was the Jesus of motorsports. He was also a carpenter. Doing miracles.
The Jesus of motorsport is Antonio Giovinazzi, sir, because he looks like Jesus. He
Oh,
looks
okay.
like Jesus.
But does he sing?
His
like
nickname is
Peter
his nickname is literally Italian Jesus. On board with Bertrand. I feel we're gonna see a lot of Bertrand today. So that's the advantage getting spun on lap 1 is we're gonna see a lot of. As he overtakes Matt Al there for 14th place and sets his sights on Raul Valoria, the Miguel Molina car.
Raul.
Antonio Costa on the tail of Max Simmons. Looking down the inside into turn 1. I think he's going to get that done, although I'm a little disappointed the camera. But we also got to look at Martin Edmonds thinking about a move. Oh, looks like Costa did not get it. Simmons closed the door on him. It's work. It's work next. Further back, that is Barrier saying, "Get out of my way." In turn 1 as he goes into 13th position ahead of Raul Valoria. We'll say that I'm probably not going to respond to chat unless
Wow.
I'm bouncing back and forth between the camera control and the track.
You heard it here first, folks. Mike doesn't read.
I read a lot. I actually I finished my yearly reread of the Founding.
Did you found the Founding?
That's the first 3 novels of the Gonskip series, but one book, one omnibus.
That's not true.
I finished that today on the toilet.
Wow. Graphic.
Very. Russell looking for a move here on Jake Wilson. Up ahead, Max Simmons still defending. And Greshel is through. That was made remarkably fairly easy there from chicane. I will say, I feel like he could have shut the door harder, but didn't want to risk contact. Maybe, I don't know. And up ahead, it is still Costa trying to get around the outside of Max Simmons here to turn 1. Type 2. Can he do it this time? Simmons has the inside, and Simmons escorts him right to the edge of the track and covers the cutback. That is slick driving, very precise by Max. Fantastic.
Scott Nick would like to say, and I quote,
Well put.
Indeed.
Well raised.
Indeed.
It's a fine objection right there. Is there anything in particular he's trying to poo-poo?
No, I don't think so. He's just in general.
It's general poo-pooing. Okay. Are you not entertained?
He is unentertainable.
Indeed. Wilson looking for an overtake on Dirk Russell. I think I'm going to grab the camera control and drag us over there. So just trying to get back into that 8th place. And Antonio Costa also very close. Rene Erber very close to RWB Rigel as well. We have all kinds of action going on here. So sorry, guys. If you're currently in a fight right now, there's a chance we're going to miss it because there's a lot going on right now. Including this 3-way fight between Kashuk, Edmonds, and Wilson. So Wilson, instead of actually getting up on Russell, is actually under pressure from Martin and Patrick. Trying to go around the outside. Why are you trying to go around the outside again, Mr. Antonio Costa? Mr. Simmons has shown you the edge of the track every time through there, my friend. You need to take the inside line there.
It's possible. Apparently Scott was making the sound effect for your toilet adventures.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense. I appreciate the additional sound. Hop back to Mad Al chasing down Raul Valoria for 14th place here. Mercedes versus Audi. Further up, Antonio Costa still trying to get past Max Simmons. They head through the Dunlop hairpin. Adel still threatening. Max Haas is also looming large in the mirrors of Henrik Andreasen, looking for second place. Let's take a look at that. Tobias Thierolf in the meantime, leading by 2.5 seconds. Doesn't have the fastest lap last time around. Although he does have the fastest lap of the day, 148.006. The next fastest is 148.177, and that is owned by Henrik Andreasen. Let's see what Costa does into the first turn this time. I think he's trying to get the inside line this time. Nope. Gonna try and go around the outside again. And once again, Simmons says, please see the edge of the track and call me later.
Sir, you have been awarded the 2 Trailer Park Girls Award.
Oh, he might lose his spot here, Dirk Greshel as well. BMW bank car looks eager, looks anxious. Martin Edmonds, by the way, has overtaken Jake Wilson. That is that happened off the screen. See the Playboy car is now ahead of the Pink Panther car. Two of the more amusing liveries. And Mad Al trying to get past Raul Valoria. He's just really, really close to him. Doesn't seem to have a move yet. Meantime, oh, Martin getting a little out of shape there.
Yeah, too much of the Putin love. Too much Putin, you get out of shape.
That's true. That's true. You end up in a you end up in a shape. That's for sure. It's
the shape very ergonomic and travel through space time. Very nice.
Say much. I had shawarma before we started recording and streaming. As overtake is Simmons once again hangs on to the position through the engine chicane, and that always causes a certain amount of weight.
I myself have not had the comestibles, for I was feared that I would pass out halfway through the race.
Oh, fair enough. We appreciate your sacrifice. Not very close to the first turn this time. But Simmons still shows him the outside of the track.
Between the lack of
Al
sleep
going down the inside of Raul Valoria, and that will be 14th place for the Mercedes driver.
Wrong. Possibly correct.
Not many Mercedes in the field. Well, we got 5. Bertrand Barrier is up onto Andrew D now. That is for 12th place. Those who do not recall, Barrier qualified in second. As Antonio Costa, I was going to say, finally got past Max Simmons, but it looks like Simmons got him back. And in fact, it's Dirk Greshel moving into 7th place. Max Simmons, a man after my own heart with this defensive driving.
Pull a brakey.
He is building that wall.
Pull a brakey, put them all on the wall. They all will wall in the round I call. Rumble, young man, rumble. Oh.
Max Haas still trying to track down Henrik Andreasen. Meantime, Dirk Greshel is now next up on the trying to overtake Max Simmons. Trying to go around the outside there. Oh! Costa getting swallowed up and losing a spot to Edmonds and possibly to Jake Wilson. Wilson's on the inside of him. Where's Wilson? Did Jake spin? He's kind of disappeared. Wow, he's out of the race.
What?
What happened? What happened, Jake? He must have lost it to the Coca-Cola curve and gone into the wall. I was trying to figure out where it was. I was expecting to see him on the inside of Antonio Costa. I didn't see any contact between the two. But looks like he is. Looks like he has. Looks like he has pulled the ripcord on this one.
The parachute go poof low.
Bertrand Barrier did in fact overtake Andrew D. So there's that news for you.
I found that to be de-stressing.
Matt Al is looking to try to do the same.
I think that might be difficult.
Max Simmons hanging on against Dirk Greshel, Martin Edmonds, and Antonio Costa. Trying to keep that old style Mercedes up in 6th place. I'm not sure if he faces any real kind of performance dip having the older Mercedes, but I imagine there's something. It is the Paul di Resta car, right? Scottish driver, former DTM champion, and F1 driver as well. A couple of ex-F1 drivers, of course, in the field during these years. Timo Glock, Paul di Resta. Gary Paffett was a test driver as Dirk Greshel moves on through. Pascal Verlaine. I think Esteban Ocon, current F1 driver, has a car in this series. I don't think anyone's racing it though. It's the Freeman's Mercedes. And Antonio Costa looking to go down the inside, finally taking the inside into turn 1. And it doesn't work. Martin Edmonds goes around the outside and retains the spot. Antonio Costa is literally going to be seeing the... oh, wait, Tobias Thierol dropping back. What happened to him? He must have had a moment. A bobble. He's down in 3rd place now. Max Haas to the lead.
The real question is, Timo Glock, why did you invent such a very cool handgun?
Well, he didn't. He just has the same name.
I find that hard to believe. That's too much of a coincidence, sir.
Magic Kashchuk is getting on to the end of this 4-card Monty here in the midfield from 6th place down to 10th. So Jake Wilson is gone, but his spirit and spot is being taken by Magic Kashchuk, the Polish Brit. The Anglo-Pole. There we go. So that's what.
Be the guy that you consult to, like, hey, this is unpronounceable. What is it? What does this say? It'd be Smith.
It's like that Simpsons moment of, oh, thank you, sir. Oh, no, I was gonna say Max Simmons losing it there. So Max Simmons has had a great race, but oh my lord, he murdered Kashchuk.
The cabbage truck has wilted.
Is the car okay? Bertrand Barrier is like, thank you, coming through.
The only solution is more helicopter.
And he's going to bring Andrew D with him. That's some rough times. Oh, D overtaking Barrier. Barrier got way too deep into the first corner there. Andrew D says, thank you very much. I'll take 9th place. Andrew D has made up 3 spots in like 1 corner.
Andrew has dismissed the rest of the field.
That car does not appear to be handling terribly well in the hands of Kashchuk right now. That might be a problem. D's car also looks like it's taking some front end damage though, so a couple of walking wounded cars out here right now. Tom Haas still leads from Andreasen, Thierolf, RWB, Rigel, Rene Ermer. Top 5 has been pretty static. Dirk Greshel, Martin Edmonds, Antonio Costa, Andrew D, and Barrier rounding off the top 10 before we get to Kashchuk, Matt Al, Max Simmons, Paul Valoria, Mauricio Delgado, RWB Marco, and Nigel Wood. Nigel Wood is having a rough day. Back to back. Anyways, to finish up my notes there. Um,
You have notes?
my tangent. There you go. Not tangent. There was the episode of Simpsons where they get abducted by aliens, and Cook gives Marge a nice meal. Her response is, "Oh, thank you, Mister." He goes, "In order to pronounce it correctly, I would have to pull out your tongue."
And that's Poland in a nutshell. You can't just call a guy Matthew. It has to be Mataush.
Ouch. Mataush Gamrat.
I called the guy Gumrod. Just mouth shaming the guy. The dental
Pit window is
hygienist,
open, by the way. So, who do you think's gonna get? You think Max Simmons is good? You think Max Simmons might be the first guy in with the fact that his front end is hanging on by like
Nope.
A twist tie at this point, basically.
Your boy Max Simmons is going to sprint to the front, open up a 2.5 minute gap, and then pit.
Bertrand Barrier looking down the inside of Andrew D, looking for that 9th place. He defends through the Valvoline curve and into the Ford curve. Next up, they'll head down to the Dunlop hairpin. Antonio Costa to make up ground as well. He is on the back end of Martin Edmonds. He was at the front of this pack with Max Simmons, of course. Got shuffled back because of his, repetitive attempts to overtake him. Not working. Andrew D to leave this 4-car pack.
In the RWB chat, we have a comment from Racing at Home. I'm not sure who this is, but just got a pit entry DQ bug.
I assume that is Jake Wilson.
Ah, that would explain.
Might have gotten the DQ.
He moved right to pass the slower car, and it DQ'd him.
Might be some interesting track limits around the pit lane here, perhaps.
Perhaps now Jay could tell us which Wilson brother he's related to.
Heading down the inside there was Cash Chuck for a hot second, and it will actually work. I was going to say it wasn't really going to work, but Bertrand Barrier got all kinds of out of shape and is very late onto the DRS, and the Red Bull car will move into 10th place. And in fact, not only Cash Chuck's coming through, but Matt Al would like a little piece of that action. He's got the inside line, but that will translate to the outside line in turn 2. And with Mercedes held by Bertrand Barrier. A pit stop, by the way, for Max Haas. He is pitted from the lead and is your first pit stopper of the day. So there you can see him rejoining the festivities in not last place. Oh, it is last place. We've lost Mauricio Delgado. Oh, no, Delgado's just in the pits. Okay. Thank you. Mauricio's still here. He's just taking his mandatory pits.
We all live next to a yellow ex-Marine.
I'm surprised Nigel Wood wasn't one of the early pit stoppers. His car is kind of bone. You can see the obvious misshapenness of that front end. I would have thought he'd want to take a gamble and try and get that fixed, but not happening apparently.
I mean, really what we all want to know is what's on Mauricio Delgado's charcuterie board and what wine is he pairing with it? That's all we really want to know today.
I mean, that's always. We need to get that boy into the recipe room experience.
See.
To share his selection of salted meats and wines. Oh, and Jesus. Bertrand Barrier with a late jink into the building there.
A little off kilter.
Magic Cash Chuck looking to make a move on Andrew D as he's trying to come back through the field. He, of course, was involved in that Max Simmons accident. Also in the pits, Hendrik Andreasen and Rene Ermer. And Dirk Greshel. They have a couple of cars. Let's see where they come out. Raul Valoria also. And that has put Tobias Thirol back in front. Kaschuk looking down the inside and succeeds. That is 5th place on track, but of course he still has to stop And a number of cars that were ahead of him have come in for their service, including Andreas and Haas. And Gresham, come to think of it. Nigel Wood in the pit lane. See if they can. We'll see what they can do about his front end, because that is not looking aerodynamically efficient at all.
It's fine.
It's not fine.
Put a little duct tape on it. It's fine.
So top 9 yet to pit. Bottom 8 have pit. Kazchuk is leaving D and Matt out a little bit. D drops into the pit lane. That makes sense. Actually, I'm a little surprised he didn't pit earlier, because he's also carrying front end him. And the race leader, Tobias Thierolf, is in, so we're going to ride with this pit stop and see where he comes out in relation to his rivals, Max Haas and also Henrik Andreasen. You think he'll retain the lead, Byron?
I believe the answer is a firm, perhaps.
What was his last lap? I don't have his last lap, unfortunately. Martin Edmonds also in the pit lane.
Bias seems to be dropping down rather rapidly.
Yeah, he's lost out to Haas. And he's lost out to Andreasen, so that'll be third place effective.
I believe if you drop down below 7th place, they just delete you from the circuit.
And that means in the lead now, it's RWB Rigel. Right.
Got stars in his eyes.
RWB Marco in the pit lane. So we have 5 cars yet to pit. RWB Rigel, Antonio Costa, Magic Kazchuk, Matt Al, and to the surprise of no one, Max Simmons. Rigel's going to come in. Is he going to get the pleasure of leading a lap or no? That's, I guess, the question.
I think if Jake Wilson doesn't pit soon, he's probably going to be DQ'd.
Well, he's already been DQ'd.
That's the joke.
We'll see if Rigel... So basically the deal here, Rigel, if his pit stall is beyond the start-finish line, will officially have led a lap. And if it isn't, he will not have led a lap. I think he's beyond. It looks like he's one of the furthest up pit stalls. Antonio Costa cycles into the lead now in the Antonio Costa literal car, because of course we've been through this. There is a DTM driver, or there was. I don't know if he's still with the series. I think he went to Formula E, and then I don't know where he's gone since. But that was named Antonio Costa, and that is the livery that Antonio Costa drives. You can see the DAC on the side there and the Portuguese flag.
Are you calling for some stolen valor? That was going on here.
I think it's very, very clever to pick a car that's driven by somebody with the same name, actually. I applaud this. If there was a Michael Magus who drove in any series, I would totally be in that car.
What about an Ayrton Senna?
No. Max Simmons, by the way, in the pit lane, so he will not be the last man to pit. It will either be Antonio Costa or Mad Al. They are the only 2 that have not been into pits.
That was possibly the funniest line you've ever delivered, sir. Just the low-key no. Perfect. Well done. I applaud the accidental humor. I know you didn't intend it.
Why do you always assume I don't intend things?
Because you're a nerd!
Magic Kazchuk rejoining the festivities behind Bertrand Barrier and Andrew D. So he lost out, actually, by going long on the pits there. But, he will have the fresher tires. See if he can parlay that into a top 10 finish here today.
They also call me fresh tires.
Tobias Thierolf has ended up actually behind RWB Rigel, so he's in a net 4th place, actually, behind Haas, Andreasen, and Rigel. It's rough times for the championship leader. Although, I mean, 4th place is more than solid for him. That would be... Pulling up the stats here. That would be how much for 4th place? 80 points. 80 points would be a solid points haul. And he would lose only 40 points to the race winner. And keep in mind, the race winner right now looks like somebody who is not in the championship fight. Max Haas is down in 11th place in the championship. So there is that. He's missed the last 2 rounds. That's Haas's problem. He was a fixture in the championship battle until, attendance. Antonio Costa is in the pit lane as well as Mad Al. So Max Haas will cycle back into the race. I'm kind of interested where Costa comes out. Let's see here. He was kind of a mid-top 10 car before the pit stop started. Looks like he'll jump Dirk Grushel off this whole deal, as well as Martin Edmonds. So his overcut working out reasonably well, especially with Martin behind him. Because Lord knows you have fresher tires than Martin by default. So if you pit later than Martin, you have way fresher tires than Martin.
Word on the street is that Martin drives with a flight stick.
There was a guy that I raced with that did that, Alessio DeBones.
Oh, really?
He did actually race with instead of with a wheel, he had a flight stick.
That's pretty funny. Was he good?
He was very good and very inconsistent. He was like Bertrand Barrier, essentially. Like he was very, very fast, but at any moment would possibly hit the wall.
Oh, Maximus is pitted. I am kind of disappointed in him now.
Well, everyone's pitted.
Just take the penalty, don't pit, just sprint to the front. If you finish fast
on
enough,
the tail of RWB Rigel.
If you finish far enough ahead, the penalty doesn't matter.
Yeah, Alessio was raced with us back when we were Zero Racing.
Yeah, I remember the name. I just don't remember why I remember the name.
He was either a boom or bust guy. He was either winning the race or in the wall.
I believe you mentioned him several times. I just don't remember the context.
Move, and Theorolf makes the move, and into third place he goes. So the championship leader is still interested in picking up the win here today.
More per diem per podium.
He, of course, has 5 wins this season, triumphing at the opening 2 rounds, and then really actually everything is George Life and the first grid race at Moscow Ring. So has been his playpen. He's been doing amazing work this season. An absolute dominant. Oh, Jake Wilson's talking about how he wants a licensed champ car for Justin Wilson car so that he can pull the Jay Wilson. Also, if I recall correctly, Justin Wilson's champ car liveries were always pretty dope because he was with My Jack Conquest Racing.
I don't know what any of that means.
So Conquest Racing was the racing team that Justin Wilson originally raced for in champ car, and the My Jack was just their title sponsor. So trying to remember what the heck it is. I think it's a heavy equipment brand in the United States. Just going to put the auto director on here for a moment because everything's kind of settled down right now. So we'll let the auto director decide who we're going to look at.
Who lives and who dies.
There's only one gap on the track. It is this one, Magic Cash Chuck Danger G, that is under a second. Got Matt Simmons on his tail, and then Matt Al and Real Velour. Nigel Woods picked up a spot. RWB Marco now at the back. There's not really anything close to a Michael Magus driver for me to even possibly replicate in a sim racing game.
What about
the closest thing would be like Norby Miklas, and that's not close.
Nicolas Cage.
My name is not common. Though I did meet a guy who, so back in the day for the N64, for some reason Jack Villeneuve's name never appeared in any of the F1 games. It was always David Newhouse, I think was his pseudonym. I actually met someone whose name was David Newhouse, so that was like, hey, you're in this game.
He's a new house. Mighty.
Back at Max Simmons from the rear wing of Magic Kaszczuk, who of course was obliterated by Max when Max lost control of the car on the It's turned both of their days down a little bit in terms of what they can do. Right now, fighting over 11th place.
I say get them to pit one more time and hand them both Claymores. See what happens.
It's not battle cars.
It could be.
I do remember that he was also with Roo Sports at one point there, Jake. But I believe if you look back, his original journey was with Conquest Racing. Came in after his unfortunately unsuccessful F1 run with Minardi and Jaguar. Although, to be honest, I think he actually had a really good time with Minardi and Jaguar. I just think people gave up on him because Wilson was like an abnormally tall driver. So you always had this weird like need to redesign like the seat to actually fit him. I think he was like 6'4".
An entire man.
Which by F1 standards and well race car drivers standards in general is quite tall.
We have a comment from Tugas Racing, who I believe we think is Ricardo Costa.
Could be.
He was avoiding a car accident and hit pit entry, which is why he is no longer resting.
Max Simmons catching up to Magic Kaszczuk. Might have an overtake here at some point.
And also, your boy Jake Wilson says that you were wrong.
Yeah, I was responding to him with that. The statements about Justin Wilson.
Nice.
I was on top of that. We had a moment there where I didn't have to fuss with like camera, so I was catching up with that.
And Scott Nick says that you, sir, are a horrible human.
Tell him to get out of my diary.
Wow, that's fair. That's why I can do that.
Stay away from my innermost thoughts, Scott. You don't want to know them. You don't want to know them. I come from a long line of people obsessed with cleanliness. So let's put it that way.
Horrible.
Mauricio Delgado has fallen to the back of the pack. I suspect that has something to do with a spin at some point because he posted a lap time of 154.868, which for comparison purposes, his best lap of the race is 150.378. So that's about 4.5 seconds off. So I suspect he had an off-track excursion. Oh no, Jake, I don't have that I don't have that level of memory to remember exactly every detail of Justin Wilson's career. I just remember that he was with Conquest Racing originally. Then he was with, I think it was actually called RS Sports by the time he was with Roo Sport. No, it was it was with Roo Sport with AJ Allman, and had some outings in IndyCar before his untimely passing. I don't think he was ever really with one specific team. I know he was with Dale Coyne for a hot second. I feel like every driver at some point has raced for Dale Coyne. Is involved in the American Indy open wheel scene because Dale Coyne is the king of like never having the same drivers in his car for the entire season. It's like, I need money. You have money. Get in there.
Get in my guard.
There was one season, I think. It was the season, I don't remember what year it was. It was in Champ Car, though. Oriol Servia was signed up. He actually had a really good driver lineup to start the season. Oriol Servia and like Cristiano D'Amata, who are like both former race winners in Champ Car and like really successful drivers. And Servia ditched his team for Newman Haas when Bruno Junqueira got hurt. And like from that point onwards, it was like no driver lasted like 2 races in that car. It's just like, Nope, need money. Max Simmons looking down the inside of Magic Kazchuk. He is the master of turn one. We know this. Antonio Costa can tell you a thing or two about it. But Kazchuk manages to stay in front for now. And behind them is Mad Al going, yes, yes, yes. You've hit each other once already in this race. Do it again. On board with Max Simmons. This is really the only great battle going on the track right now. Everybody else is within touching distance. Don't get me wrong, something might develop. There's honestly no huge gaps outside of Nigel Woods or Paul Valori, which is 20 seconds. That is largely decided. Ooh, Andrew D is dropping back to back. What has happened to Mr. D? Oh my lord, Andrew, what have you done to your car?
Wow, scalp that sucker.
What?
Whoa! Hello.
Okay, I don't think he's in control of this car anymore.
Yeah, this seems a little out of
I feel like he's stuck in a loop.
The Matrix has you, Neo.
The Matrix has you, Mr. D. Meantime, Max Simmons all over the back end of Magic Kazchuk and looking for a way past. Turn one again. Here we go. Down the inside. Max on the inside. Outside for Kazchuk. And, Max squeezes him right to the outside. Mr. Kazchuk, Antonio Costa, you need to form a support group. You are on the edge by Max Simmons. Meantime, Tobias Thierolf is caught up to about a second behind Henrik Andreasen. Really in striking distance yet, but it's getting there.
Put him in the wall.
Can't really put many people in the wall here. You got to time it right. You really would have
the effort.
You'd really have to do it at Dunlop Hairpin or at the Engineer Chicane or Coca-Cola Curve. Those are like really your three options to put someone in the wall. Thierolf on the attack. He is caught up to Andreasen and smells blood. Longtime rivals in the Tugas racing scene. Henrik Andreasen, Tobias Thierolf, no shortage of on-track encounters. On the tail he goes. What do you think? He gets him by the end of the lap, or is this going to take longer?
I believe this will go on into perpetuity, and they will be chasing each other across the night sky on stormy evenings in the southwest of the United States.
Playing 17D chess.
Correct. Their journey shall be recited in song as long as man shall live.
That'd be impressive. Up there with the sonnet of Villeneuve and Schumacher, Hakkinen and Schumacher, Hill and Schumacher. Really Schumacher and everything.
I was going more like a Ghost Riders in the Sky type scenario.
Or Riders on the Storm.
That's a different thing entirely.
Mm-hmm. But it did pop into my brain. Pace difference on that last lap was 4/10. That is the theoretical advantage that Mr. Thierolf has over Hendrick.
Good then.
Well, and then he tries to make it overtake.
Fair enough.
Both men representing Tugas Racing International, but also not teammates this time because one represents the Audi brand, one represents the Mercedes brand. By the way, we have all three brands on the podium. Besides BMW leading from Mercedes and Audi.
What about them there Toyotas?
Toyota would look a little out of place on this grid. Plus, one would think they'd probably enter under the brand Lexus.
That's possible.
There is a Japanese equivalent to DTM. It's called Super GT, which does have Lexus in it. It's Lexus versus Nissan versus.
Be sure to join us here in a few weeks where we race the Jiki stand. And
Tobias with the easy overtake there. Hendrick did not make that hard. A little bit anticlimactic after all. I was building it up. Max Simmons, in the meantime, is caught up to Bertrand Barrier, which is Barrier losing tires, maybe? Let's see here. Nah, I think he just went off the track because I'm looking at his last lap time, and it is invalid. So
he's an invalid.
I suspect maybe there was an off-track moment for him at some point. Let's check in on Andrew D, shall we?
Oh boy. I think he might need to pit.
Still doing the same thing. Oh, we missed Max overtaking Bertrand. I'm sorry.
Wow. I could have had helicopter mode.
I couldn't resist having a look at. I noticed that Andrew is still on track, and I wanted to see if he fixed his loop, but nope, he's still looping. And Bertrand might also lose out here to Magic Kaschuk. Kaschuk down the inside. He's got him. As long as he doesn't overshoot. He overshot. And which a post over retaining against Red Bull. Enter BMW battles.
Indeed.
Timo Glock versus Marco Wittmann.
You've been abandoned by Nathan the newcomer.
Well, we still
must
have,
trust us.
Well, yeah. I mean, we do.
That was his last mistake.
I mean, I don't know. Did he give you admin access to the park stand?
No, not yet. If he hears this, he will not.
It would not be. It would not be advisable.
Hey, you should totally give me it.
It just honestly just if you don't actually have to do anything with the admin access, it just kind of.
Bro, you should get. Listen, give me admin on the RWB Discord, and you'll wake up the next day and everybody's nicknames will be changed. It'll be hilarious. Nobody will know who it was, except if they're watching and listening to this.
Antonio Costa up on the tail of Rene Armour, looking to get up into the top 5 here. Not a strong day for Audi, I must say. I mean, you do have Thierolf up there, you have Rigel up there, you have Armour up there, you have Edmonds up in 7th place. But it's not been as strong as they've been. Audi has been exceedingly strong for 6 rounds of this year.
Strengths.
And yes, Scott Nick, Super GT is super awesome. I like their female commentator girl. She's very enthusiastic.
Enthusiasm is good?
Mm-hmm.
Or is that a code word for something?
No, I actually have no idea what she looks like even. She is really enthusiastic.
My mother asked me, I was like, oh, we got to do live commentary, got to be home, in time to do that. And she asked me, pull into the driveway, and like, is this something you can make money at? I'm like, yeah, but I'd have to get a lot more professional and like know things about racing.
I mean, you do get gift cards for LCBL. That's kind of famous.
true. That's not rent money. I was going to further explain that, like, yeah, well, we need to like access larger,
Larger audiences in a nutshell.
Exactly, yeah. And I would have to not be who I am right now, unless a lot of people are going to get really cool, really fast.
I think really cool, really fast would be the thing. We'd probably have to give you some fundamental knowledge of racing.
You push the pedal, you wiggle the stick.
I mean, a little bit more than that.
You turn the circle thing.
Costa's gotten past Irmer at turn 1. Finally, he got something done at turn 1 after all those failures against Max.
Thank you, Scott. Scott says, you're all the professional I want, Byron. I appreciate that.
I never said that our audience was not incredibly happy with you, sir.
We have a niche audience. We would just like that niche to be a little wider.
Just saying. Just saying. If we wanted to widen it, we'd probably have to adapt.
Mm-hmm.
What do you guys think of the RWB chat? We know the ESR chat loves us, but what about the RWB side?
Of course they love us.
You having a good fight?
If they don't love us, then Nate might have a problem. Just putting that out there.
We won't do anything.
We're not doing anything. I'm just saying we're back. We're back every couple weeks.
Every 2 weeks. Every 2 weeks to give you live commentary. We're down to the last 3 minutes, by the way. The last.
Nate's back. Nate's he's gonna stab us right in the neck.
Please don't hurt us, Mr. Nate. Don't hurt us.
We didn't plot anything.
Nothing at all.
Virtually nothing.
Yeah, I'm not plotting anything either.
Oh.
Nothing worth mentioning.
Not plotting. That doesn't sound reassuring at all. Max Simmons being hunted by Bertrand Barrier here.
You put up the Barrier to entry.
Barrier would love to get that 9th place. I mean, even 9th place would be a letdown after he qualified again on the front row and found himself pointing the wrong way at the start. But he is aggressively trying to wring the neck out of that BMW to get past the Mercedes. This will probably be the battle that we're looking at down the stretch here because there's not a lot else happening right now. Costa's pulled away from Irmer pretty effectively. That was kind of the other battle that was going on. Tobias Thierolf was pulled out to about 5 seconds ahead of Henrik Andreasen. So that's not really on.
Well, he's got a minute and a half to make up 2 minutes of speed.
Yeah,
Can he do it?
I don't think so. Last lap he was 6/10 faster than Max Haas last time around. So.
Maybe he wilt under the hostility.
Probably not. Even at 6/10 a lap, we're looking at 2 laps left. That's only a second. That's only 1.7 seconds. I think as long as Haas keeps the car pointed in the right direction and on the track, make our way through here the Dunlop curve here with Simmons getting a little out of shape there on exit. Although, I mean, you could always end up with the
oh boy,
Andrew D.
The Andrew D. Blender special.
It is still circling the Dunlop curve.
You spin me right round, Andrew, right round.
I mean, as long as that fate doesn't happen to him, I think Max Haas has got this.
Total hostility.
8/10, by the way, last time around. That was the delta between Birol and as Barrier goes around the outside into the NGK chicane.
Mr. Wilson has pretty astutely pointed out that our audience is a bunch of guys who DNF'd. Not only that, but dudes who probably should have been in the race, but aren't in the race. And or people who are kind of impelled to watch.
Max trying to get back at him in the first corner and then into the Mercedes arena.
RC has pointed out girls as well.
I mean, I believe it's probably girl singular, I'd say, but
Yeah, there's a couple.
there could be others. Side by side. Inside. Nice move. Max getting it done again. So we got the Dunlop curve, the NG chicane, Coca-Cola curve. These are like the last chances Barrier's got to make things happen.
He will finish in umpteenth place.
Where is the race? Well, Max Haas is your winner. So they're coming across the checkered flag. We'll ride to the checkered flag with Bertrand Barrier and Max Simmons as they look for 9th place. I think the top 8 are more or less settled. Getting towards the NGK chicane now. Matt Al in the background.
The maddest of Alberts.
Pardon me, I got a little ahead of myself. We're not at the NGK chicane yet. There's the NGK chicane. And through the Coca-Cola curve for the final time, Max Simmons is going to take home 9th place ahead of Bertrand Barrier. So it is Haas, Thierolf, Andreasen, Rigel, Costa, Ermer, Edmonds, Greshel, Simmons, Barrier, Matt Al in 7th place. Then it'll be Magic Kazchuk coming across the line in 12th. Raul Valoria in 13th place. Nigel Wood had a rough day. He'll bring home a 14th place at the end of it all to salve his wounds. RWB Marco in 15th place. There he is. The super fun livery car. And Mauricio Delgado in behind him in the T-Cell, I think, car. Miguel Molina's livery, whatever it is. Bringing up here in 16th place, unless you include Andrew. I'm pretty sure he's not going to be classified. Anyways, there you go. There is the confirmation of what I just said. Best lap going to Tobias Thierolf. I wonder who got their best result of the season. Obviously not Thierolf, but I believe this is Max Haas's first victory. Took home any of the Nurburing action. And this might be Henrik Andreassen's first podium as well. No, he had a 2nd place in round. Oh, he had a win, actually. Andreasen was one of the winners at So check out the RWB standings page to see where we're going in the final round here in terms of championship action. And the final round will be Zandvoort on Saturday, April the 15th, 2 weeks' time. And it is going to be kicking off again at 4 p.m. Eastern time for the practice. Byron, do you have anything final to see?
My food just showed up, so everybody sign off right now.
Well, I can terminate the ESR stream. RWB will be handled by someone else.
Also.